For those of you who are back here during the Ken Steele Battle Royal back in March, we seen a friendship potentially get dissolved, a tag team breakup, and I just want to get to the bottom of this. So Kid Lightning, when you come out here.
Fans, I'm Joe Brody. My co-host Josh Stone's in the ring right now for an interview, and I'm being joined here at our broadcast location.
Kid Lightning,
by
come to the ring.
Douglas Wentworth III.
And it's your pleasure, and all these fans' pleasure.
Absolutely, I'm sure. After the incidences of last night here,
it's looking like Kid don't want to come out and join us.
We know that there was some discrepancy here at the finish of the tag team title match, but you guys did retain those NICW tag team titles, so congratulations on that.
Nice to see you join us.
But, we knew it all along, and so did you. And this time, your corruptive little maneuvers didn't help you any. We retained the titles.
Oh, you want to do that?
Oh. I'm here in my capacity as a commentator.
Kid, all joking aside, what happened here during the Battle Royal? I know you and Adam Hex, y'all been friends, a tag team for a long time, and the fans, they know that years, man. What's going on?
More importantly than that, I see that I'm booked to go against him tonight. I didn't agree to that. I'm not doing that. And when Adam Hex gets here, I'll gladly tell him to his face. Now back to your question, what happened?
That's
Adam
what we all
Hex
want
is
to
a
know.
screw up.
Absolutely.
He's always been a screw up. He'll always be a screw up.
These guys had a violent falling out here last time.
That battle royal,
Stuart,
whoever won, if it was one of us,
they're definitely not seeing eye to eye at the moment.
But instead, he let greed overcome him.
It's kind of a shame because they were actually a pretty decent tag team. We were actually looking forward to maybe having to wrestle them, but now that's, now we're down to nobody again.
For himself. Again, screw
I
him.
am not as familiar with this tag team.
See, the other guy all about himself. See, that's what happens. Egos get big and tag teams go out. Oh, they're going right at it.
They are absolutely going right at it.
There is no talking here. There is no talking here. There is no love lost where there used to be brotherly love. Wow.
I tell you what, these guys are going after it.
All right, security, get these guys out of the ring.
There. They were just throwing
nail,
y'all want to fight? Y'all going to have a fight later tonight.
Oh, here we go.
Security, get in here.
Let them go.
Security,
let them work it out.
This match isn't scheduled for this time here.
Well, we can get it twice. That's 2 for 1. Did you see how he came out and attacked?
Guys,
I did see.
Y'all want a piece of each other? You're going to get a piece of each other later tonight.
A lot of emotion, definitely.
I mean, he's a good young wrestler, but, you can't let your emotions get the best of you. Like we didn't, or if we had have let the emotions get the best of us, we still would not be the champions.
Well, there is definitely validity in that theory. As a former wrestler myself, I know and I agree with you 100%. You can't let emotion rule your actions in this ring. And what we've got going on right here is this young man, Adam Hex, is the one of this tag team that I'm familiar with in my capacity as the matchmaker for American Pro Wrestling. He's been up there. He's worked on our television program. He actually got a match on television against the American Heavyweight Champion several months ago. I'm not as familiar with Kid Lightning, and you may be, obviously.
I am. It's my job as a manager to keep my eye on all talent. And both of them have been around a while, but Kid Cash is just came out here and acted ridiculous. That's not how you handle it. You handle it in the ring, but I did like the scuffle.
Absolutely, I understand that. We're going up to our first match right now. We've been joined back here at the broadcast location by Josh Stone.
Well, it's good to be here with you guys, and I'm just wondering, I see one of the great managers in the business right here with us.
The greatest in the independence has ever seen.
But after I was watching last night here at this show, I want to know, how's a manager as good as you with such a low-down, sorry team as the Southern Wrecking Crew?
Now, wait a minute, I take offense to that. A low-down? How can you call us low-down? I don't care. Everybody hated President Trump. Everybody hated Otis Sistrunk. Everybody hated Tom Brady. But we were at the top. It's just jealousy.
Everybody has the right to their opinion.
Well, what we've got going on right here is an individual coming to the ring that I'm very, very familiar with. one Sis Sasaki, who's also been a major factor in APW wrestling lately. She has joined Cuban's Army, and those of us that were here in this event last night saw the Cuban Assassin in the main event against the American heavyweight champion Crash Cassidy. Unfortunately, he went down in defeat for him, unfortunately. But Sis Sasaki is, along with Baron Krause and Anthony Cooley, who we also saw here in action last night.
You know, this Sis Sasaki, I really do like her. I think with a little more, if she would get a little more technical, she would go a lot further. But here's the thing about her. You don't know what she's going to do next. I don't think she does.
I agree with that. She's highly, highly unpredictable, but very effective in the ring. One of the top-notch female wrestlers out there on this scene in this area in the Mid-Atlantic region.
The other thing that makes her very, very, very capable of winning at any time is she's not afraid to stretch the rules.
Absolutely not, and I've seen it. Now, we saw something here, and here comes Cassandra Chaos to the ring.
Oh, Lord. A young girl trying to get, this might not be the match for her. This might not be, you're going against a psycho. You're putting this young lady at risk.
I wonder how much chaos is going to happen in that ring tonight, because I tell you what, both these competitors, I've seen them compete multiple times, and they just bring all their guns loaded when they come in.
Well, I know, guys, these two have met in the ring before, so they're very familiar with each other. Usually leads to a pretty good matchup because the feeling out process in the beginning of the match is not nearly as extended when two opponents really know each other.
So are you saying who would say would have the advantage at this point? Would it be the rubber match thing where, you know, one would have dominance over the other, or would it be this is just a feud that's going to keep going until somebody is done?
You know, in my personal opinion, I think that Cassandra Chaos at this juncture in her career is probably a little overmatched against Sasaki.
I agree. Sasaki has the weight on her. She is capable of just about anything.
She also maintains a much more rigorous schedule of active wrestling matches than Cassandra Chaos does. I know Chaos, she's an active pro. She's been around for several years, but she does not have anywhere near the match listing on her resume that Sasaki does.
Well, this is kind of the Tommy Rich syndrome. She just won't give up when she's getting her head kicked in. I mean, I think if anybody knows, as a historian on wrestling, you know that when Tommy Rich went out at first, he was destroyed by Abdullah the Butcher week after week after week. And he just kept coming back when he should have just laid down and just, you know, moved on.
He maintained that attitude several years later in his feud with Buzz Sawyer as well.
Yes, he did. And the thing of that, though, was it did pay off for him because he got the respect, and he actually moved on to do great things. He won the NWA heavyweight title.
Absolutely. Defeated Harley Race. Defeated Harley Race, held the title for 4 days.
NWA champion ever.
Well, we just found common ground because I agree with you there.
Well, how could you deny Harley Race?
Never. I would never. Harley Race was the world heavyweight champion when I first became a fan, and you know, he and Terry Funk, in my opinion, are the two top NWA world heavyweight champions.
Well, that's hard to say because that was a different era, and there was people like Jack Briscoe, Jerry Briscoe. These kind of men were at the top of their field. They were legitimate wrestlers, and not just wrestlers. They were accomplished.
Absolutely, I agree wholeheartedly with that, and I would like to see the sport return to that type of hard-hitting action and really just real tough guys in the ring.
I agree. And talking of those kind of tough guys, you got a lot of those guys here tonight. Look at Crash Cassidy. He reminds me of a Dick Murdoch or a Dick Slater, that guy that looks like he could have just crawled off a bar stool to come down here and have some fun.
You're exactly right about that, and he has that in common with the man he defeated for that title, also Lance Erickson.
But the one thing about Crash is he, like Dick Murdoch and Dick Slater, they were more brawlers. This guy can actually wrestle.
He can, absolutely, and you know, consummate student of the game that he is, and it's taken him to a pretty high level in his career already at this point. Early in, he's about a 6-year pro.
And he's doing quite well. I expect big things for him. Very big.
Josh, what do you think?
What do you? I'm looking at what's happening in the ring here, and I'm just curious. Do you think there's a mental aspect here that Cassandra's having?
Sis is playing the psychology game here for sure. I knew that from the start. She started talking to her from the beginning. Now she's going to entice the fans to further make it. If the fans start getting into this, now that might play into the other young lady's hands, but right now, Sis is trying to get it to her. Oh, there you go.
I mean, Sis is throwing out moves here. You don't see that often. When she had her over here on the rope, she did a beautiful cross body, putting Cassandra's throat.
Did you see the snap on that, guys?
That came down like a lightning bolt.
Sasaki has a style in the ring that's it's almost a blend of the Japanese style and the lucha style.
And she's a little bit bigger girl, but very, very quick and agile for her size.
And just the tenacity, the meanness streak in her.
That's what I like about her.
Look at that. Speaking about a meanness streak, couple of knee strikes. And taking over there, Cassandra Chaos.
That'll change your attitude right there.
She better be lucky she has that
That
mask
was a
on
2
her.
count. That one. I think that one rocks Sis there a little bit.
Good solid 2 count by the referee. Cassandra screaming at her opponent to get up. Sasaki waiting in that corner.
Oh, see, there's where the inexperience showed itself. She took too long. She played for the crowd, and now she's paying for it.
I was watching. I mean to cut you off, Joe.
I think Sasaki lulled her in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, I was watching the same thing. Last time we seen you last night, you were out here managing your team, and we seen the same thing, how they were controlling the aspect, the experience over young Tony Ray. They kept controlling him, keeping him into the corner. Do you think having that experience factor, does that give her just the greater edge?
It definitely gives you an edge. See, because there's things that, like with the Calypso, there's things he's done that people question, but here's the thing, it gets the results you need. And with the experience, you know what to look for. Make them make the mental mistake. Don't make the mental mistake yourself, because all it takes is one mistake, 3 seconds, and you're done. You are the loser. So, and that's what the difference between champions and contenders.
Cassandra Chaos has worked out of this bear hug and has Sasaki in a hammerlock from a most unique position.
It is. And a most unique way to counter it.
Excellent counter, absolutely.
That unorthodox style y'all were talking about earlier, even though it's traditional Japanese and mixed with other styles, but what we see here in this region, it's very unorthodox to see, and I don't think Cassandra Chaos really knows how to mount a defense.
That just shows the inexperience, that's all. And see, now she's talking to her, she's getting in her head. You can't let somebody get in your head. Oh, here we go. Oh, she caught her. She took too long.
And that's going to take a toll on the spine for sure. You can't come off there on a slam like that, from that height, and not have it affect you for the rest of the match or even the rest of the day.
She might need a couple of Motrins after that fall. Oh, right back to, oh. Nice sunset. Oh,
hey, and look at that.
What an
Look
upset.
at that, she did it. Cassandra Chaos shocked this crowd and shocked Sasaki.
And then there's the other side of the card, being overconfident.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. What do you think, Josh?
Well, I think I'm really impressed with what's going on with this match and these ladies here tonight. I hopefully see them a whole lot more coming down the line, but I don't think that this is over between them two. I don't think Sis is
I can tell you,
Sis isn't going to take this well.
Cassandra Chaos is set up and booked to wrestle Nicole Starr in Grundy, Virginia on August the 3rd for NICW, and I can't wait. After seeing this match, I can't wait to see that one.
Well, I would love to see it. I wasn't there. I had previous engagements, and well, I'd like to see more of these two young ladies. Even if it's against other opponents, I'd like to see her wrestle some different opponents just to see what her ability is. Sis, she's pretty much, you know what she is.
Absolutely, and we know that we just saw just a glimpse of what Cassandra Chaos is all about. And we're going to go to an interview right now, fans, so hang on.
And I really don't like
All right, fans, we have
Blame you.
another interview set here for you for Mr. John Heartbreak. John, come on out.
Young Mr. Heartbreak coming out here for an interview, and we know that you're probably pretty familiar with him as well, Mr. Wentworth.
Yeah, this is another kid that if he gets a little more experience.
I'm starting to think nobody wants to have interviews today.
If he just had a little more experience, you're going to see big things from him if he keeps on his current path.
Well, he is without a doubt the top contender for the NICW Cruiserweight title, but he had a big win over heavyweight here in Anthony Cooley just last night, and
that was an excellent match.
And he also beat King Kai.
Well, this isn't John
2 nights ago in with one. I guess we're going to have Shanghai Pierce Jr. here is going to come out and join Josh.
Yeah, this guy's a little unstable.
Tell us
I
what's
think
on your
he's on
mind.
Zoloft and Risperdal.
I'm going to tell you what's on my mind. Driving in here to Stuart, Virginia, it absolutely made me sick. Sick to my stomach.
I can understand that.
Makes me want to throw up all over that shirt of yours.
Me too.
Why would you say something like that? These are wonderful fans out here in the heat tonight, and they're coming here to see you, and you're going to talk to them that way?
These fans make me sick. They're pathetic. But what's even more pathetic is that Dragon Scott Lee. Driving in
agree
here,
with that.
that's all I heard.
I thought you
Dragon
might.
Scott
I'm starting
Lee
to like this guy.
Dragon Scott Lee this. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sick and tired of hearing about him. I'm sick and tired. I'm going to do 2 things, boy. I'm going to punch you in the mouth. I'm going to punch you right in the mouth. And then 2, I'm going to take his test and I'm going to show him what a real man's about. Outlaw Protection Agency style.
What style?
Outlaw Protection Agency.
There you heard it, folks.
Never heard of that.
Obviously,
kinda like
new
it,
one on
though.
me too.
I'm kind of liking it, though. I wonder if he's for hire.
The Outlaw, Shanghai Pierce Jr., he came out here and said his piece. Josh, what do you think?
Well, he's definitely got some intensity coming in here tonight.
Well, he just bit off a big bite of the apple there with the former NICW champion.
You don't want to come out here and start talking crap to the only Grand Slam champion in NICW history. That's not the man you want to start talking a lot of junk to.
Why?
Well, you know, I've seen the outcome with him and the people you represent
And
a
that-
time or
and
two
that
before.
was? And that was?
I remember seeing some matches with a certain legendary Eclipso in the Dragon Scott Lee, and it didn't always come out favorable for Eclipso.
Because we got screwed over.
You
Look, are you talking about when after the Battle Royal and Scott originally won the title? He wasn't supposed to wrestle him. He was supposed to wrestle at Shud Hudson.
But you think
Wow.
a guy as experienced as a Calypso would be ready for anybody. He don't have to have such a game
We
plan.
came to the NICW believing we were going to get a fair shake. We were going to play fair. But now we see that we're going to have to do whatever it takes to contain what we have built as a legacy, a dynasty. And we will do whatever it takes. And that's even if we got to whip Joe Brody's butt.
Well, I was just kind of letting you guys go there. I don't know how I ended up being involved in that, but in the ring,
You conspire every week against us.
we've got Critical Mass and Damian James in the ring while awaiting their opponents here. Big tag team matchup.
I've known Damian James for many, many years. I wish he'd lose a few pounds. This cat is actually an accomplished wrestler. But I tell you what, he's just getting back in. He took some time off to get with his family. And I like his attitude, the way he goes about it. You got to love this guy. He's an accomplished wrestler. His partner's about half psycho. This could be an interesting match.
Well, Josh, who are they going against?
Well, you know, I was wanting to bring that up. There's this particular guy they're going to be going against that y'all didn't have such a good outcome with last night, Mr. Ace England. What are you telling me about that?
Look, let's don't get into talking about the short bus people. Now, here's what I say. The sun will shine on any dog's butt now and again, and I think, in all honesty, Eclipso lost that match on purpose so we could get a shot at Tony Ray and Scott Lee.
Well, as you see, Ace England's coming out here with Robbie Lynn.
Oh, Robbie Lynn, a fantastic wrestler. I've seen him wrestle for over 25 years. An accomplished hard-working wrestler. I can't take anything from this guy.
Well, I'm familiar with Robbie Cruz as a tag team partner of his brother, Sean Cruz, and they wrestled in West Virginia several years ago, but I've not seen either one of them in quite a while.
Oh, well, I think Robbie also took a little time off to raise his family. You know, people don't realize how hard it is in the wrestling business. You have to give up your family. That has to come second. Wrestling becomes first. The road becomes second, so then your family moves to third. Then the long nights every weekend, so your family becomes fourth. And it ends up that your family ends up way down the line. So the only way to straighten that out is to take time off and be with your family.
Well, you know what? We found more common ground here tonight, Mr. Wentworth, because I agree wholeheartedly with that statement. I myself, a 30-plus year veteran of the sport, and I retired about 4 years ago from active competition and moved into the position as matchmaker for APW. But I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm beginning to hate myself. We've agreed too much.
I feel the same way. But I know that I lost families and marriages over my commitment and my desire to be a professional wrestler, and it took precedence and priority over everything.
You lost marriages because you're ugly.
Well, partner, I don't want to have to agree with him, but now I've got common ground that I'm having to agree with him on.
I've got more ex-wives than most people have underwear at home.
Wow. You're that many times a loser.
Absolutely, in that respect, yes. But I was a winner in the ring.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Now, I am curious now.
I found that to be common ground, too.
You have this established tag team right over Critical Mass, right? But what I'm curious about is, you would think that would typically give them the edge.
He didn't buy that. Robbie made a mistake showing the ring rust.
But we got little Ace England over here who took out the tag champions by himself last night.
You ever heard of taking a dive to get what you want? We took a dive to get what we wanted. We wanted to show the fans, the NICW Board of Directors, we wanted to show the entire independent world that we were going to, and we did just that. We slapped them around like we owned them. We walked out with our titles. And, if it hadn't have been for some cheating at the end, that match could have went on 4 or 5 more minutes. And so Eclipso went ahead and did the favor, and we got what we wanted, and we embarrassed Tony Ray and Scott Lee right in front of all of Stuart, Virginia.
You definitely won the match, and I have it on good authority that you embarrassed them in front of more than that, because the matches from last night were filmed just like tonight, and the matches from last night are going to air on American Pro Wrestling Television.
And, that's a good, let's talk a little bit about American Pro Wrestling. They're an up-and-coming group, and I'm starting to really appreciate their work. They're giving a lot of these younger guys time, and that's what I do like about them. They bring up some younger guys, and it's great to see younger talent start to work. And they also have developed some great talent. And Joe, I hate to give you any credit, but there's some of that has to go to you, even though I just simply hate your damn guts.
Well, I won't say the feeling's mutual, but there's no fondness. How about that? But I do appreciate a genuine compliment when I hear it. I put a lot of effort into scouting people and bringing people in as the matchmaker for APW from other areas. We've recently had Evan Golden out of Tennessee come in, the NWA East Tennessee champion on television, and the new NICW.
And Robbie has no patience for that.
Slinging heavy leather in the ring.
Low blow. Oh, and by the way, if you hate me, I take that as a compliment.
Well, I was actually going to say the new NICW heavyweight champion, Victor Andrews, last night. That was dangerous. That was dangerous.
A lot of weight on the throat.
Did y'all feel the shake in the ground right there?
I did, and that's a concrete floor.
My goodness.
I thought Joe had gas.
I wasn't sure what it was, but I know I felt a rumbling from down under.
Again, I thought Joe had gas.
These guys are slinging the heavy leather, that's for sure.
Yes, they are. See, I like this style of match. Not a high flying. You're not going to see these guys crawl to the top of the ropes. You're going to see these guys work on the mat, and this is the kind of match I like.
Well, I have to say that I'm in agreement there too, because as a professional wrestler during my career,
we got some action on the outside. Ace is going. See, that Ace is another cheater, and he's aligned himself with these two bums, Tony Ray and Scott Lee. Now, all right, I'm going to take that back. Scott Lee is he's been the champion, and Tony Ray, he's going to have his day, but they keep on using us as a trying to use us as a stepping stone. And look, we're not a stepping stone. We are accomplished. We have been around a long time. Everywhere we've been the champions for as long as we felt like it. So he needs to quit aligning himself with people. Oh, is this the match? Oh, Lord.
I was expecting this to go a whole lot longer.
look, they've just called it. The referee's called it.
Beat up Ace.
I think he's declared this match a no contest, Josh.
Breaking strong hand. Oh, breaking strong hand.
Now, you heard him last night.
And there they are again, interfering where they don't belong. They don't belong in the ring. Mind your business or get another beat down.
Well, at least they're men of their word. They told him last night that they have his back going on out from here on forward.
Critical Mass and David James.
They just keep sticking their nose where they don't belong.
I tell you what, I think what I'm seeing right now is a little bit of a reverse gouge back at you with Dragon Scott Lee wearing the Southern Wrecking Crew colors out here into the ring tonight.
That copyiness is just flattering us. He wants to be us.
Big cheer from this crowd for Ace England after that matchup.
Robbie Lynn don't look like he knows where he's at right now. He looks like he's seeing stars.
I tell you what, when Robbie Lynn knocks the ring rust off, you're going to see Robbie's just getting back in. He's had only a few matches. When he knocks the ring rust off, you know, the same thing, they did the same thing last night, all three of you bums. You got your nose in where it didn't belong, and you need to mind your business. You're done. You're not getting a return shot. We're done with them.
Sounds like
there
some
you
bad
have
blood.
it, fans. Voice of the manager.
Why are they saying anything?
The voice of the manager of the Southern Wrecking Crew says Scott Lee and Tony Ray will not get a rematch.
We beat them. They wanted a match. We said no. Then Calypso decided he was going to put over Ace England, and we got the match that we wanted. They were too excited. They thought, oh, they're so weak, and then we just destroyed them. Psychological games.
All I can say is the president of the championship committee, WWE Hall of Famer, handsome Jimmy Valiant, he said it's not over yet.
Oh, look at this cat.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Jeff Paul just showed up out here. Josh Stone going to get an interview
everybody,
with
we
him.
got Jeff Paul with us right here. Jeff, tell us what's on your mind. It's been a little while since you've been here with us. You were here with us in March. Tell us what's going on, brother.
First off, when I'm talking, your mouth goes shut.
I like his attitude.
Second off, I know you people in Stuart aren't used to nice stage, so take a chance. Take this in, because I'm giving you the honor, the privilege of watching the greatest wrestler on the independent circuit wrestle here in the Stump tonight.
Okay, I'll agree with that behind the Calypso.
That's some strong accusations right there, Jeff.
The bottom line is this. Me and Crash Cassidy, we go way back. The only difference is Crash Cassidy has stayed the same, and Jeff Paul has went straight to the top.
Yes, he has.
Well, let's go see what you can do in the ring.
But I do disagree with him about Crash Cassidy.
Oh, later, okay.
Crash is definitely out. He might be underestimating Crash a bit.
Well, I just have to interrupt here and say that I saw these two go at each other back in March in Meadow Bridge, West Virginia, and it went to a 15-minute time limit draw. They then subsequently, about 3 weeks later, they got a rematch in Fayetteville, West Virginia, and after about 18 minutes of action, Crash Cassidy got the win, but then subsequently he defeated Lance Erickson to win that title, and it's done nothing but intensify the rivalry between these two since.
Well, the thing of that is, when you get a title in the picture, if you're in pro wrestling just to come out here and hear fans cheer for you or have your friends show up, you're in the wrong business. Get out. Just go home. We don't want you. You're here to win titles. That is your main goal. I don't care if you've lost every match for 10 years. If your goal isn't to win a title, go home.
All right, we're going up to the ring for this matchup. This one is a title matchup, guys. The NICW Cruiserweight title on the line in a gauntlet match. Multiple men involved.
It's been a long time since we've seen our prestigious Cruiserweight Championship put up on the line. I'm curious to see these contenders and what they're going to do to grab that gold. You, out of everybody here, managing champions, you know how much having a strap like that around your waist, what it means. Tell us.
Oh, well, here's the thing. I don't like a gauntlet match because too many things can happen to change things, to make, and you end up like with the championship that Eclipso won at the Ken Steele Memorial. Well, we thought we were wrestling somebody else. It was a battle royal. He beat 20 other guys to win that title. And then in seconds later, Scott Lee gets in with an illegal karate maneuver and steals the title when Eclipso wasn't looking. So don't tell me that they don't stretch the rules. But in a gauntlet match, just there's so many things that can happen, so many ways to get injured. You can injure yourself by trying to perform a maneuver and trip on somebody. There's so many things that can happen.
Well, my understanding of the rules, how this match is going to be conducted, and as they introduced the Bronx Bomber, man, I'm very familiar with. They introduced the Bronx Bomber here, and the rules, I believe that these are going to be individual one-on-one matchups, elimination matchups, and once a man's pinned, he's out and the next man comes.
Okay.
And the last man standing at the end will be the champion.
Well, I was a little misinformed, and I thought it was going to be a new guy every 2 minutes. But, and here's that bum.
USA Tony Ray on the way to the ring. I'm a little surprised, to be honest with you, that Tony Ray's entered in the Cruiserweight title tournament because he must absolutely be right on the edge of that weight limit for a Cruiserweight title.
Well, here's the thing. He's after the tag titles, and again, it goes back to what we spoke about a minute ago. If you're not in this to win a title, I don't care what title, you need to just go home.
Well, as you mentioned also, though, a divided focus can't be good for Tony Ray because he can't equally focus on the pursuit of the tag team titles with the caliber of the champions that currently hold those belts, along with you as their manager, and train as a singles competitor against lighter, faster cruiserweight wrestlers.
Well, sometimes you get lucky, and that's about what he's been so far. I'm not taking anything away from him. If you watched the start of that match last night, that was a very technical match, and then he started to bend the rules, and we took it to a different place.
Well, I can tell you one thing about Tony Ray. He's not afraid to mix it up either, because on the same card I was talking about earlier in Fayetteville, West Virginia, he and the Cuban Assassin had a Caribbean strap match that went about 11 minutes, and they both beat the absolute dog out of each other with that strap.
Well, the Cuban Assassin just goes to say his lineage, he learned from his uncle. The original Cuban.
His father, actually. His uncle was the other member of the original Cuban Assassins tag team. But yes, his father was the original Cuban Assassin who was in the Canadian Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Drag. Oh, nice hip toss.
Now this is what your team has to look forward to when Tony Ray gets on the move. It's the next thing you know.
Have you noticed that my team is way better technically? The Southern Wrecking Crew just didn't fall together.
Well, they definitely know about that father-son connection that we were speaking about with the Cuban earlier.
Oh, yes. Anytime that you get a family together, they know what each other's thinking before it happens. And there's no way the two guys, I don't care how much they tag together, there's no way that they can have that kind of connection. It's almost like it's psychic.
Well, I do know, I've seen some father-son tag teams, Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Mulligan Jr. years ago. Bob and Brad Armstrong, excellent tag team title winning champions. And man, the Bronx Bombers opening it up now on Tony Ray in the corner.
Oh, look at that beautiful chop right there, the power.
That hurt from over here.
Tony Ray's trying to ride the man that got him in a side headlock again, switches.
He definitely is a wrestler.
I'll tell you, back during our Halloween show in Martinsville at the college there, I seen the Bronx Bomber come out. And this guy, he had the fans eating out of his hand. And he's, you know, you don't see him a lot, but when he comes out, most of the time, he brings a little bit of a punch with him. And I'm wondering if young Tony Ray is going to, as we see.
Well, see, the Bronx Bomber isn't so much technical as he is.
He's a brawler.
Yeah.
He is.
Came up on the streets of New York, and, you know, you got to be tough to survive that.
Yeah, you got to fight rats just for your lunch.
There is another Bronx Bomber. There's a tag team
Or
of the
Democrat.
Bombers. Absolutely, we're in agreement there. But there's a tag team of the Bronx Bombers currently working in APW Wrestling, and they are under the management of Bronco Barnett.
Who is an accomplished manager in himself, but he's not a Wentworth.
Well,
There's
absolutely.
only one Wentworth.
There's only one.
Thank God.
Yeah, I didn't say it was a good
Are
thing.
you thanking God for me?
I'm just thanking and praising God every chance I get. How about that?
I think he insulted me.
Well, he might just be religious. He wants to give the good Lord the thanks he's due.
Your hat's on too tight.
Man, did you hear the impact of that?
Yes, I did. This is turning into be a wrestling match. Tony's making him wrestle his style.
And that's not going to end well for the Bronx Bomber if he has to start wrestling Tony style.
So here's the thing. If Tony can keep it in his realm, he's going to win. And if the Bronx Bomber keeps it in his realm, he will be victorious.
Absolutely. Contrast in style.
Why would you walk away from him to go make a maneuver and say, I don't agree with this. This should be illegal. Why isn't the referee counting?
Look at the
Big
height.
high cross body, 3/4 of the way across the ring. And there you have
He would have been up about 15 or 18 feet. I'm going to go have to talk to you.
your first winner in the gauntlet match. Scorpion Jr. in the ring, and he's all over
You got Scorpion
USA
Jr.
Tony
coming out
Ray.
here.
Scorpion Jr. has entered the match.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Tilt-a-whirl head scissors from the Scorpion. Oh, nice Inzaguri. Nice. Only a 2 count. Air official. And they're right in on the action.
Now, this young...
Fisherman suplex. He's got him. This could be it, Josh. That's it. Tony Ray's just put down his second man in the gauntlet match.
And this is the son of the legendary Scorpion. He used to compete back in NICW years ago. We haven't seen him in years. This is his son, and he's not having his very best debut match.
Well, I tell you what, he was looking very impressive when he first hit the ring, but here comes Shanghai Pierce Jr. in the ring with that cowbell, and he just cleaned the clock of USA Tony Ray. Now, what happens, Josh, here if Tony Ray can't continue in this gauntlet match?
Well, if Tony gets eliminated here, next man up. That's what the whole essence of this
Now,
match is about.
you saw the distraction that happened right there, the distraction, and here comes Douglas J. Wentworth III back here, just distracted Tony Ray and Shanghai Pierce Jr. from the Outlaw Protection Agency. I have to think you might have had some money behind this incident.
No, sir. I was congratulating Tony on a win. I'm a fair man.
Now, we've got Kate.
I've heard you of many things, but I've never heard fair. Good. Thank you.
Right. With you, sir.
Now, I saw that, Josh, you saw that. The handshake there. There's some dirty dealing, backroom dealings going on right there for sure. But we've got K-Killer out here, and Tony Ray is down and out. And if he can't continue, this gauntlet match is going to come down to, now,
Get him up and finish him off already.
K Killer right here. Every time I've seen him compete, it just blows my mind with his abilities. He
Now,
is.
Here comes John Heartbreak, who's also entered into this gauntlet match.
This is where you make the mistake. He should have went for the killer instinct, finish, win. The pay window is only open to winners.
Tony Ray on wobbly legs. He's not feeling it right now. Trying to get back in the ring, and makes it, barely makes it.
Tony looks like he's dazed. He don't know where he's at. That hit to the head, it just don't look good for young Tony right now.
There's no way he's going to be able to continue. Either one of these guys
has entered the match.
So Tony Ray is eliminated. I guess he didn't make it in time for the 10 count.
No, he didn't
Could
make
not
the count.
answer the bell. So we're looking at this matchup being K Killer versus John Heartbreak.
I love it. I love
I
it.
bet you do.
How about that, fans?
I can bet you're going to be on the phone tonight talking to us.
I don't know if you two have seen this
he already
because
knows.
you weren't in Withville, Virginia just 2 nights ago, but in Withville, Virginia at the Apex Center, these two went toe-to-toe in the opening match of that event, and John Heartbreak came out on top.
Well, these are two guys who insist on me. Oh, good God.
That's what it should be about right there. It should be about two guys coming into the ring, mutual respect, have a good, healthy competition, not being doing all these dirty, cheating tactics that, I hate to say it, as much as I like you, you go and sink down and do.
And that's why you drive a Prius and I drive a Cadillac.
We had to get
Well, that's
personal.
pretty to the point there. But again, we found more common ground because I can't believe it every time I see him coming in with that cowboy hat sticking out of the top of the sunroof of that Prius.
It's really not a sunroof, it's a rust spot.
I got
Don't
you
call
there.
me the Prius cowboy for nothing, all right?
I bet he voted for Joe Biden.
I'd almost guarantee it.
And you know what? He was telling me he understood what he said.
That's the scariest part.
Well, when you're used to having your head stick out of that Prius and all the wind hitting your ears, you understand a little better.
That explains why your jaws are so flappy.
We've got two professionals in the ring here right now, and this match is going to come down to one or the other of these guys is going to be the new champion. Heartbreak reversed it.
Heartbreak giving up some size and definitely some muscle strength here.
Well, he does that, honestly, in almost every match. But here, if you saw last night, he was against Anthony Cooley, and Cooley's about 6'3" and about 260, and Heartbreak won.
It's not the size of the dog, that's for sure.
Collar and elbow lockup, these two working it.
Who are you going to give the advantage to? There's a height differential here. Are you going to give the edge over to Heartbreak like y'all were talking about? But K Killer is a big man.
Josh, in my opinion, I think that K Killer has something to prove after that loss from just 2 nights ago in Withville to this same opponent. And I would have to give it to him just on the fact that he's got a strong personal desire not only to win this title, but to prove he's better than John Heartbreak.
Well, if they keep playing kissy face, they're both going to lose. One of them needs to take the initiative and do what it takes to win the match.
Big shoulder tackle there from the larger man. Heartbreak down.
This guy's cut. He's quick, he's agile.
Look at the height on that jump.
Recovered from that stumble and caught him with a hip toss and now an arm drag. Japanese arm drag.
Japanese arm drag. Oh, drop kick. He got his
Man, he
legs
got
up.
him. He got him right up under the chin with that one.
I think he got him a little bit in the throat. That can take your wind out of him. This could be another count out.
K Killer out on the floor outside the ring. Referee needs to start putting the count on
And
here.
see, John's problem here is he should already be outside and he should be taking care of business. He's got a 10 count. He should utilize that time to go out and inflict some more damage, put the man back in the ring, and then a 3 count.
Well, I have to say that during my career, that's exactly what I would have done, especially with a title on the line. friendship doesn't matter in professional wrestling, and close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Oh, you can be friends, but when you crawl through those ropes and it's about the money and the titles, there are no friends. And if these guys are friends after this match, well, I think that's a mistake.
Well, we can hope for some sportsmanship, but
Not me.
they're back in the ring now, and Heartbreak.
Sportsmanship is for losers.
Heartbreak gave the man a chance to recover, and I think I agree with you that was a mistake. It was a tactical error on his part. He had the advantage. He should have pressed the advantage because it's money, marbles or chalk. The belt's on the line.
Have you noticed when the Southern Wrecking Crew is, we are always applying the pressure. We are always taking advantage of every situation. That's why we're the champions. That's why we have been the champions for over a year. And we'll continue to be the champions because those are the things that are necessity. They are a necessity to continue a title run.
Again, I can't dispute any of that.
Nor should you.
Big chop in the corner. Followed it up with a second one.
Yeah, see,
Killer
he's
down
getting
on one knee.
aggressive, and I like that. Heartbreak's getting aggressive. Oh, he should see. He gave him a breather. He took 2 or 3 seconds, and that's all it takes to get another move in, and then you're not champion. You're sitting at home eating popcorn with the only belt you have is the one holding your pants up.
Big splash in the corner there from the larger man when Killer hits Heartbreak, using that momentum and mass advantage to drive the air out of his lungs and follows it up. Very well, I might add, with an attack that's designed to take the wind out of Heartbreak.
Now see, I don't agree with this.
Look at the quickness of K.
Well, it worked. He's got him on the, why, attack him! Oh, nice move, backbreaker.
Nice putting that stretch on him right there after that back took that impact.
And if you've ever been in this is a very painful move. It'll make you want to surrender. Oh, now he's got a claw in the stomach.
It's definitely a painful maneuver to be in because it not only is it applying pressure on your spine, but the abdominal muscles, your pectoralis major, your chest muscles, and he's got him by the neck there, which can't be a good thing for anybody.
If you've noticed in the last few minutes, they've both
Beautiful
gotten a
neck breaker.
little more aggressive.
Absolutely. The heat's turned up just a little bit here.
I'm starting to like this a little more. They're starting to get a little more aggressive with each other. You know, the rules are, the friendship thing is kind of going out the window a little bit, and that's what you have to do. This is wrestling. This isn't a dating game.
Absolutely. You're right about that.
So who do you favor in this one?
Well, it's hard to say right here. I'm a big fan of K. Killer. He is just so athletic, professional. And look at that right hand right there, but it took everything out of him. Now I just do not know, Wentworth. I do not know.
He just chilled him with that right hand, and it reminds me. We saw Jeff Paul out here earlier, and I started to mention their NICW heavyweight champion, Victor Andrews. They had a match out here, or actually on television, about a month ago, and Victor Andrews threw a right hand just like that and knocked Jeff Paul out cold and pinned him on television. And our champion is in Frankfurt, Germany, defended the title successfully, I'm told, last night in Frankfurt, Germany.
Yes, sir. He's representing the NICW well, going around taking that heavyweight title, taking it across the ocean and defending it, and just adding a little more prestige.
And that's all fine and well. But Scott Weddle lost our title, and now it's overseas. We can't get a shot at. Calypso deserves that. Oh, what happened
Man,
there?
I tell you what, he tried
Well, I think you meant Scott Lee, but
when you try these high-flying maneuvers, these high-risk maneuvers, sometimes they don't work, and you can injure yourself and cost yourself a title.
there's an inherent risk involved anytime you leave your feet.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. But now what happened there was Heartbreak tried what I thought was going to be a Hurricane Rana, and K-Killer turned it into a power bomb.
And that's not a Hurricane Rana. I don't know why everybody, they changed the name. It's a Frankensteiner. The Frankensteiner's off the top rope, but still, I just don't like using the lucha libre terms. This is American wrestling.
Now we're finding common ground.
Senor.
Look, lucha libre has its place, but it's not here. Now this is a mistake. I just don't agree with being up on the road. And now he's going higher.
He's going for that moonsault. He's going for it. He attempted this last night and missed it.
Yes, he did.
Hits it. He nails it that time. He nailed it.
But it did him no good. He hurt himself as much as he hurt his opponent.
K. Killer kicks out. That was about a 2 3/4 count there, gentlemen.
I was actually pulling for heartbreak there.
Well, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You have to have the ring awareness and the stamina to be able to take advantage and move a little quicker to get that pin.
In my opinion, he should have came down, maybe came back. He should have worked on him a little more before he did the splash. And I just don't agree with all the high flying moves.
Headbutt right there. Got him double underhook. Oh, my God. I don't even know what to call that.
I don't either.
I thought he was going for a butterfly underhook suplex.
He definitely looked painful. Well, Killer's claiming it's done.
He's living up to his name. Oh.
See, there you go, when you waste too much time.
He hit the post. He hit the post with that shoulder. Heartbreak rolls him up. There you go.
There is a perfect example of what we were talking about. Way too long. He played around. He gave him an extra second. Heartbreak got out of the way. He ate steel post, and now he's looking at a champion.
He's at. Well, now here we've got some guys coming
Here
out
comes
here
your favorite guy
to congratulate the new cruiserweight champion and console the loser, K. Killer.
I'm gonna puke. I am gonna puke.
The American heavyweight champion out here also, Crash Cassidy.
I gotta give Heartbreak his due. He did what it took. He did just enough.
He's the champion. Results speak for themselves, don't they?
They do. You can't deny it. He's walking around with a gold strap around his waist. He did a fine job in that match. He did enough to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new NICW Cruiserweight Champion, John Heartbreak.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your new NICW Cruiserweight Champion, John Heartbreak.
There you have your official announcement. I think Josh Stone is going to try to get an interview with the new champion. Let's see what he's got to say about that title, Mr. Wentworth.
Josh Stone? You mean Cowboy Prius?
Yes.
Oh, look at this. This makes me sick. You don't have friends.
John, the fans got to know what's going on in your mind right now after such an impressive victory.
You know, there's a lot going through my mind. I gotta say, number one, it's always a pleasure to work in Stuart, Virginia.
Yeah, I think he's lost his mind.
And if there was anywhere to win this brand new NICW Cruiserweight title, it's Stuart, Virginia. So I want to thank each and every one of you.
Because they don't wear
and I want all of my people, all my freaks to know in Bradley, West Virginia, that finally we're coming home. Thank you so much.
Thank you, champ.
So he's saying that it's West Virginia? So that'll be all of his relatives that are related to each other a couple of times.
I think he was referencing the Mountain State Sportatorium, the home television arena for American Pro Wrestling Television that's seen locally in this area on Star News in Martinsville and in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh, Wentworth brought up a good point. I heard that family trees in West Virginia resemble, you know, when you go to the beach and you have those palm trees, it resembles that a whole lot, even though they don't grow there.
So please, if you would, hit up our concession
His hat's too tight.
and all benefits.
We're going to be back, fans. We're going to be back with more action. Hang on right after this.
Well, it's good to be back here with you, Wentworth.
It's always good to be with me.
Well,
And then now it just got a little bit uglier.
Class just entered the building. The class of this promotion just entered the building. Joe Brody has arrived at the broadcast location.
Huh.
So is class in session now?
Has he been wearing your hat?
Well, you can see his hair's been a little pushed down.
I can't fit my head in that hat. Look at it. That's a horse cart right 12.5 gallon hat.
Hey, head this big right here, you gotta have a special hat.
No doubt. And a special bus to get you to school.
We've got a match coming up here that we saw shades of earlier, guys. A lot of bad blood brewing here.
Yes,
I think that was the same bus that, Ace England drove in on last night when he beat your representative.
I told you, Eclipso lured in Tony Ray and Scott Lee. It's exactly how we planned it out, 100%.
Now, what can you tell me about this group we have right here? I know they used to roll thick together.
Well, the thing here, you got guys that aren't technical wrestlers whatsoever. You're not going to see a whole lot of arm locks. You're not going to see takeovers. You're going to see fists, kicks, punches, biting. These guys really don't care about rules.
Like I mentioned earlier, I know Adam Hex because he has some experience in APW, and I brought him in, and we gave him a shot against the American heavyweight champion on television several months ago. This kid Lightning, I'm not familiar with him or his background. The only time that I've seen him has been right here in Stuart.
Well, he's been around a while. I don't really know a huge amount about him, other than that he's not a technical wrestler.
Well, I could have told you that with one look. I mean, he's got the brawler look, for sure.
Well, you can't go by looks. You look at Wentworth and you think, meanest guy in the world. I'm the nicest guy. The fans love me. They love the Wrecking Crew, and you could have heard them last night. They were all saying, woo.
There you go. Here it comes. Adam Hex coming out making his entrance, guys. And I expect this one to be high intensity for sure.
I mean, this is a hometown guy. You got to think, he's just right down the road, 20, 25 minutes, you can get to his house. He's got a lot of love coming in right here out of this region. And I imagine the fans obviously are leaning heavy his way.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not trying to disparage him, but Adam Hex, as I mentioned, on his opportunity against American heavyweight champion, he lost that match. He was actually knocked unconscious with Lance Erickson's fifth row clothesline. Erickson says that when he applies that clothesline, your head's going into the fifth row, and it happened with Adam Hex.
He don't have a moniker of Bam Bam for no reason at all.
That's right. That's exactly right. Referee going to check both men here.
232 pounds from Philadelphia, Adam Hex.
Just because you're a hometown favorite doesn't make you a winner.
This is exactly true.
Well, do you think there's going to be a numbers issue right here? I mean, you got to look. His opponent has a manager, a partner out here on the outside. They all used to be tight.
You know what? I don't think that's going to factor in at all. I think what's going to happen to determine the winner in this matchup is one man's going to make a mistake, and that's it. It's going to come down to one serious mistake. It's going to cost him the match.
These guys know each other well. I mean, tag team for a long time. This ref's going to have his
Wentworth,
arms.
I'm sure you're going to agree here that Kid Lightning probably shouldn't have allowed his man, but there you got the outside interference, so maybe there was a method to the madness.
Did the referee see it?
Absolutely not.
Then it didn't happen.
Hex out on the floor here at ringside.
He's just giving him a breather that's kind of hot in the building, so he's just getting him on the floor to look. He's going to help him breathe. He's giving him CPR.
I have to say, in the spirit of 100% honesty, when I used to wrestle, when I would choke somebody, I would tell the referee that he was choking. I was just trying to help him clear his windpipe.
Nobody cares what you did.
It was a long time ago.
They have color TV back in.
Did they have TV back then?
No, most of my matches were broadcast on the radio.
Yeah, you do have a radio face.
I can't even argue that with you.
We are agreeing way too much.
It is scary, isn't it? Shots to the midsection from Lightning, and he's all over Hex like a cheap suit.
And
right
see,
now.
you would question that right there, and you would say, oh, that's cheating or that's breaking the rules. No, it's not breaking the rules until the count of 5.
You're right, absolutely, and I've always said that. You have to take advantage of that rule. The rules are there for a reason, but you can take advantage of the rules.
Wrestling's a man's sport. And again, it's about going to the window to get the money. And the winner always gets a bid. Oh.
That was, I think I used to call that a Greco-Roman lower abdominal thrust.
I don't think he's going to be.
I don't know what
his
you call
family.
it. I just call it, it looks like it's painful.
Well, he's definitely suffering the effects now, Adam Hex.
I bet he can sing any Michael Jackson song right now.
Hex struggling to get back to his feet right there.
Yeah, he's having a bad afternoon.
Big
He's
left
fighting
hand,
back. He's
left
fighting
hand
back,
shot.
though. He must have been wearing his supporter because he recovered quickly.
Another big left hand shot. Do you guys know, is Hex left-handed?
Obviously.
Obviously. He's firing those lefts in now in the corner. Uh-oh. Big power bomb.
At that point, that was his only counter. And see, I hate that lackadaisical cover.
Arrogant cover. If he'd have hooked the leg, I feel sure he would have had the win right there.
If I was managing him, I would definitely, he would have a raw butt right now.
Now, here's what we haven't discussed.
You into that? You into raw
Here's
butts?
what we've discussed the possibilities of a winner and a loser in a match like this. But really, with all of the bad blood that's between these two men, does a win or a loss really matter if you can apply the pain and the hurt and the embarrassment to your opponent? Is it worthwhile?
Well, sometimes it's just fun, and sometimes it's necessary. Like with Scott Lee and Tony Ray, we had to teach them a lesson. We had to make them not want another shot. And that's what we did. They don't want to fight us. They're just saying that they want another match. They don't.
Well, that's all yet to be determined somewhere above my level for sure.
Well, let me give you a little history.
Oh, sidewalk slam.
Scott Lee and I
He's a
got
much
in
bigger
together. And we started together.
Okay.
And we were friends for many, many years. We weren't on the same side of the ring. His father was a great, great man. I loved him. And he also was a very talented martial art instructor. And I protected Scott for many, many years from Eclipso and people like Eclipso. And for him to come out and start attacking my person and the Wrecking Crew as a whole, it's just going to get, it's turned to bad blood now, and I can no longer protect Scott. Scott, Lee, if you're listening, you know, it's time that you just back up and think about what you're doing. Eclipso will end your career should he feel the need to.
Well, you know, I met Scott myself only about 6 years ago, but I met him through a mutual acquaintance of ours who's unfortunately passed on now, Ken Steele. And
The man, the machine.
Ken and I knew each other for about 25 years and would talk frequently and we're friends. And, you know, I hate that he's gone, but that's how I met Scott Lee.
And I owe Ken Steele a lot as well because I was very accomplished in Carolina and other states, but I couldn't get a break in Virginia. And Ken grabbed a hold of me and said, hey, we'd like to bring you in. And he brought me in, and the rest is history.
Ken, former USACW, United States Heavyweight Champion, former NICW Heavyweight Champion.
He is the longest reigning, he held the NICW Heavyweight title longer than any other person, ever.
Well, I was wrestled on cards with Ken going back to 1997 and 98, and in Virginia and West Virginia, and even in North Carolina. And great man, and we're all sorry that he's gone.
Oh, now take this match for instance. It's a much slower pace. You know,
and larger individuals than the cruiserweight match.
Yes. Look at that. He just doesn't walk very well. How's he expect to win if he's just a stumblefoot?
I tell you what, he's this Adam Hex is he's being shown the way or possibly the error of his way.
See, there's his error right there. He's trying to talk too much. And he ate a face full of pie. That should do it.
That's it. 1, 2, 3. And there's your winner, Kid Lightning.
Well, I think I might have a little bit of business to take care of.
All right.
Kid Lightning.
You guys can have the little sir.
Fans, the officials are trying to see about Adam Hex, and we've got a big interview coming up. Josh, you're going to be talking to the American Heavyweight Champion, Crash Cassidy.
And you know this man a lot better than I do. I tell you, he's a very intimidating individual, and I'm feeling it for Jeff Paul right now, and I wonder what's on his mind, because Jeff's no slouch. Now, we were told here that you'd like to have the microphone, you have something on your mind.
Listen, Stuart, I made you guys a promise 2 months ago. And it was going to be a winning victory, guys. Non-stop, and I failed you guys tonight. But you guys seen I had no chance. It was 2-on-1, am I right? It may have been 2-on-1 tonight. But kid, what you don't realize, you just started a war. And here's my warriors to back me.
There you heard it from the #1 contender. All right, everybody, we have another interview to come right now with Crash Cassidy. Now, Crash, for those who don't know, tell us about what's this right here you have.
This right here, this is the American Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title. Now, I've been going from West Virginia down to Virginia now. Hey, me and Jeff Paul tonight, we're going to be going one-on-one for this in the main event. Are you excited for that, huh? Yeah.
Now, Jeff was saying some crazy things earlier. What
is this?
Look, Crash, after what happened last night, you have my word. I will keep my nose out of your business.
What do you think? You think he's going to keep his nose out of my business?
Look, I can barely stand up straight today, and I know the pain from the gunslinger. I don't want no more of that, Crash. I promise my nose will stay out of your business.
Hope you're a man of your word. Me and Jeff, we have a lot of unfinished business. So tonight, it's be one-on-one. I hope I ain't got to worry about you.
There you heard it from your champion, Crash Cassidy.
Josh, what about that? And last night we saw Crash Cassidy delivered that big gunslinger to Bronco Barnett right in the middle of the ring at the end of our main event last night, and it appears like he made a believer out of Bronco Barnett.
Well, that was definitely a spine-shattering blast that he took last night, and I don't think he wants any more going by what he's telling me, you, and these fans here.
Obviously not. We're going to see that, but we're going up to the ring right now because we got another big matchup, Josh.
All right, well, looks like we have Shanghai Pierce and Dragon Lee coming out.
Our semi-main event.
We're going to wait for these ring introductions, fans, but here we go with more action.
And it is our singles match.
Now, earlier, this guy was coming across really intense. Looks like he's ready to throw out some damage here tonight.
That's very, very likely. And we saw him get involved in the Cruiserweight Gauntlet match. And now we're here with Douglas J. Wentworth III back out here, and he is with.
This is only business. This is a one-off. I'm only doing this because Scott Lee needs a lesson.
There you have it, fans. Words directly from Douglas J. Wentworth III. Do you know what that J stands for?
What's that?
I heard it was Jasper.
I heard it was for Jack.
I haven't heard. I just thought it was Jasper.
Now, I'll tell you what. This is going to give an advantage because as much as we don't like the guy, he's always got something smart to say. Probably the best manager in the business today.
Well, he's successful, and, you know, success speaks for itself.
It does.
Shanghai Pierce Jr. out here right now, and he's got that cowbell, and we saw him make use of that earlier on Tony Ray at the behest. Well, obviously at the behest of Mr. Wentworth.
I was talking to Tony during intermission, and his bell's still ringing, if you know what I mean.
Well, there's a lot of fans out here that love Tony Ray, but there's a handful of them that say Tony's bell came pre-rung.
Yep, that is very true.
Introducing first, weighing at 240 pounds, from Killeen, Texas, he is accompanied by Douglas J. Wentworth III, Esquire, Shanghai Pierce Jr.
There you have it, fans. The Texas Outlaw, the original Junior.
He's nasty with that bell right there, Joe.
Have you ever seen a good Texas bull rope match, Josh?
I have. It's been several years since I've seen a good one.
Well, they're absolutely brutal. I personally have never been involved in one. I've had Russian chain matches, but I've never been in a Texas bull rope match. I've seen some good ones, though.
Well, do you want to come out of retirement? I'm sure he'd be willing to accommodate you.
I'm absolutely done with in-ring competition as part of my career, I can tell you.
Well, here's a guy that doesn't need introduction.
Here, most popular man in Stuart, Virginia.
Oh, with the young dragon, Jacqueline, his daughter, his oldest, who has recently just got a new belt, as you see, as you can take it, Rutter's Martial Arts, tongue-tied, here in Stuart, Floyd, Bassett, Virginia.
I say we make this a tag match. He's bringing out somebody with him. I'll be his partner for a tag match.
I don't think he'll take you up on that. What do you think?
I don't think he would either. I think you'd really get a different side of the dragon than most people would ever get to see.
Well, there's Mr. Wentworth offered to be the tag team partner of Shanghai Pierce Jr. against the Dragon and his daughter, Jacqueline.
Well, I think we could have a hair versus hair match. He does have some pretty locks.
Well, they're all there. I don't know how pretty they are, but I can't cast any stones there. Former NICW heavyweight champion Dragon Scott Lee, an honorable competitor, a good man, a good family man, and he's going to be taking on somebody who has no compunction about sending him home to his family hurt and injured.
Tonight, I'm going to do one favor for this man because he done one for me. You took out Tony Ray. Hey, buddy. You took out Tony Ray. I'm giving you this once. Now take him out and meet me out back for your payoff. You got a deal. Get in the ring, boy.
So we've got an admission that an exchange of funds are going to take place here, pending the result.
Well, I've heard many stories. I've heard a lot of stories about when this guy gets paid off, he always gets the job done.
Fans, I want to take this opportunity to tell all of you that see this, check out the APW or American Pro Wrestling TV Rumble page. All of the NICW action and the APW television episodes are available to fans on rumble.com under the title American Pro Wrestling TV.
Stream it right to your TV and get it to your phone. It's a lot of fun to watch. You can catch up on all the back action you might have missed from missing a show. I've spent a lot of time on it and enjoy the product you put out.
You get a lot of the backstage interviews and promotional things that you don't get when you come out to the live events. So I highly suggest the fans check that out. NICW is the parent organization, the governing body of APW, and we work together kind of like a hand in glove. And I'm glad and proud to be the matchmaker for APW, and I'm also equally proud to be a commentator here for NICW.
Oh, the honor's all mine. A man as prestigious as you are in the business is accomplished. Every week that we get to do this together is a true treat.
In the ring, we're ready for action. The bells ring. To my knowledge, have Pierce and Lee faced each other in singles competition before? I don't believe so.
Not that I've ever seen. I've never seen these two go one-on-one.
Give me a microphone. Give me a loud mic. Give me a microphone. Give me a loud mic.
Mr. Wentworth has a little something to say.
Here you go.
I'm gonna tell you clowns over here, this is a family show. You talk like that one more time, your butt is out of here. You understand? I'm not joking, man. What you said is irreprehensible.
I don't think security is going to be liking having this guy interrupt this match.
No, absolutely not.
Look at the size of that security guy there. That's Big Daniel Craig. I don't think you want him having to pull you out
I
of here.
don't think so. We're going to the ring for the matchup competition. Focus back on the ring here, fans, with NICW.
All right.
Collar and elbow lockup. Scott Lee and Shanghai Pierce. Pierce, the larger man, backs Lee into the corner. And we've got a clean break, Josh. A little surprising, especially after all the trash talking that was going on out here.
Well, maybe we can get all this nonsense settled down and have these guys have a good, clean match, but we both know that's not going to happen.
No, absolutely not. Not with Pierce involved. Collar and elbow lock up again. Lee, there you go, technical expertise, arm drag. It wasn't going to let the larger man bully him around and push him back into that corner again and take a chance on getting a cheap shot on the break.
Well, this is one of the things you can learn at NICW training camp. Scott Lee is one of the main guest instructors that you can get down at the academy. He comes in every now and then and shows all the new recruits some of these tricks like this. If you're interested, make sure you hit him up on Facebook for your potential to get involved with the action.
Hey, right here we've got the fans. We're getting behind Scott Lee right there. Let's go, Scott. Let's go, Scott. Collar and elbow lockup. Scott's working that arm wringer. Shanghai trying to block it, but unsuccessful at this point. Scott's working that arm over. Got the larger man down on one knee, Josh.
It looks like he's applying a lot of pressure right there. I can't see his face because of the mask, but I got to imagine he's in a lot of pain.
Well, from what I understand, I don't know anybody personally that has seen Shanghai Pierce Jr. without the mask, but what I've been told is that he's got a face only a mother could love is the reason he wears that mask.
Well, if you notice, everybody that Wentworth represents, they're not exactly the prettiest people in the world.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Wentworth has an eye for talent, but in the wrestling ring for sure, I'm not so sure any of them are going to be going to work for NASA designing rocket boosters or winning any beauty contests.
No, not at all. I think he likes it that way. That way he can keep the attention of the camera on him.
Collar and elbow lockup. Pierce back in. And look at that. Look at that. He tried the cheap shot, like I said. And look at that deep arm drag by dragging Scott Lee back to that arm. He's staying with his game plan here, obviously.
Well, he knows that if he gets his arms and they're in good shape, there's a good chance they can grab that cowbell. I think he wants to take that out of the equation.
Well, after seeing what he did out here earlier, we don't want that for sure to be anything involved in this matchup. And speaking of that cowbell, we got that bull rope and that cowbell right here with us on the table.
Yes, we do. Our lovely ring assistant, Jamie, come up here and brought this to us as we were talking about it. This is a heavy, heavy piece right here. And if you look at it, there's a little bit of blood and some nicks taken out of it. I think that's a little bit of Tony's head right there.
That could very well be. But the good thing is if he hit Tony Ray in the head, he hit him in somewhere where he can't hurt him. Hard-headed, well-meaning, wonderful young man.
Well, most young men are hard-headed.
Well, this is true.
Oh, raking his face right across the top of that rope right there. That's using ring awareness. There's nothing illegal about that.
Look at this. Wentworth's got Scott Lee by his tights, and he's holding him in that corner. Lee can't get it. Look at that. He just jerked that foot out from under him and worked on that knee on the edge of the ring. Scott Lee has had that knee taken out. Now, as someone that's got 2 bad knees from 6 years in the Marine Corps and 30 years of pro wrestling, I can tell you that's not a position you want to be in, is in that ring with a bad wheel.
Oh, especially not. But what I'm got my mind wrapped around right now is Wentworth's trying to reach his hands down another man's pants.
Well, it got results. It got results. Now, what those results may be, but he got results because his man has the advantage in the match.
Well, Scott is deadly with those legs, so Wentworth knows this. He's going to do everything he can to give his representative all the advantages that he can. And look at it. Pierce is taking that to the next level, continuing that work on that knee.
Fans chanting, Scott, Scott, Scott.
Come on, everybody.
There you go. Mr. Wentworth over here took that bull rope and cowbell from our announce location, and that can't bode well for Scott Lee either.
It cannot. The continued abuse that Scott has taken to that knee, he can't continue to take this. He won't be able to stand. And as anybody who's ever studied professional wrestling, martial arts, any combat sport, if you take away the foundation, you don't have anything to work with.
Continuing on the theme here, the strategy obviously to take the legs out from Dragon Scott Lee and Shanghai Pierce working him over there. And look at this, look at this. Choking the man over the middle rope. Wentworth right in with the action, as is our cameraman here.
Well, we know our referee's vision's a little impaired, but he's staying on top of it pretty good so far.
Oh, and look at that, a big right-hand shot. Big right-hand shot. The referee allowed himself to be distracted there. Pierce pulled him away from the action, gave Wentworth an opportunity to fire that right hand in on the temple of Dragon Scott Lee.
And Wentworth out there ringing that bell. Scott Lee's trying to fight back with some quick strikes in the midsection.
There's a left and a right, followed up by a second right, and the great equalizer right to the eyes.
Works every time. Never seen a man yet it didn't work on.
I knew a blind man once that it wouldn't work on.
2 minutes remain in this match.
Big cross body. Got this man down.
And
2 count, 2 count.
Pulling Scott off of. Pulling him off. You know, the heat in this building today has to be taking a toll on these guys.
It is, but it's not nearly as bad as it was last night.
But once those electrolytes and all those things start to deplete, I don't know if Scott's recovered from last night.
That's an awfully big word. Who taught you about electrolytes?
Well, I've been hearing you talk with Wentworth. Y'all use a lot of big words.
I just have to rib you a little bit there, my co-host. I enjoy being here with you every time we're here in the Virginia area for NICW.
Same here. Scott does not want to take an L here in front of his hometown crowd.
No, definitely he doesn't. And a loss here would not only potentially harm him physically in this matchup, but it could drop him down in the rankings to where he wouldn't get a. Oh, look here, look. Super kick from the Dragon. And there you go. Your winner, Dragon Scott Lee over Shanghai Pierce Jr. And Wentworth not happy about that, I'm sure.
I wonder if Shanghai's going to insist this payment. Dragon, we got to know what's going on in your mind.
So this is the tactics that you try to resort to. You went out hired this guy to try to take out Tony Ray. Bad news. You may have took him out.
I've always been on him out, brother.
Good. You may have took him out in that match, but you didn't finish Tony Ray today. You tried to take me out. You didn't finish me. So we're not done. I'm still challenging for the NICW Tag Team titles. You get your boys ready. We're ready. You throw anything at us you want. We're coming out on top.
It's not going to happen.
There you heard it. Heard from the Dragon himself. So.
Hey, Dragon, you talk a good game, brother, but it seems like you keep coming up on the short end of the stick when it comes to the wrestling legends.
Sorry about that, but that dude didn't keep off the line. Sucking dick, and I said, man, what you want? And he got worse, and I went after his ass. He always does it every time. I'm gonna meet that motherfucker. I'll meet all four of them in the fucking parking lot. I'm not fucking playing.
He had to show up the road about 3 or 4 years ago. He looked at one of the wrestlers and called him the N-word.
It is now time for main event.
All right, fans, we're back here with our big main event right now. Where let's get these announcements. And man, we've got a match coming up here, our main event tonight. And back here with us at the broadcast location for that, Douglas J. Wentworth III, my partner in broadcast crime, Josh Stone.
The Prius Cowboy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Here comes Jeff Paul.
Now I want to talk about that little outburst I had. No matter what you think of me, no matter what you think of the Southern Wrecking Crew, no matter what you think of any of these wrestlers, we promote this as a family show, and we mean it. If you come in here with that kind of language, we will kick your butt out, and we won't mind meeting you in the parking lot.
There you have it, words from the manager of the Southern Wrecking Crew.
Hey, when it comes to kids and women, you gotta have some kind of decorum. We want you to have a good time. We want you to have the best time. We want you to get your money's worth. But if you're gonna do that, stay the hell out of our building.
Hey, look at this Jeff Paul out here, and he's got Bronco Barnett with him. The man that just shook the hand of Crash Cassidy and told him he was gonna keep his nose out of his business.
Now, this is a guy that all the ladies love for whatever reason. He's coming out here tonight. I wonder what kind of offense he's going to have for your heavyweight champion.
These guys definitely know each other very well. And Bronco Barnett has a history with Crash Cassidy going back at least 6 years, back to the old USA CW promotion, where Bronco managed Sheik Akbar against Crash Cassidy on multiple occasions across multiple promotions in multiple states. So there's history and bad blood between them going back years.
You think he's going to stick to his word and stay out of Crash Cassidy's business tonight?
I don't think his word means
I've
anything
got
to him
mixed
or anybody
emotions
else.
on this one. I think I'm going to excuse myself from the table because I have mixed emotions on this one, and I'm going to keep my opinion to myself.
All right. Well, there you have it. Words from the manager, Douglas J. Wentworth III of the Southern Wrecking Crew. And we're going to go to this matchup. We're awaiting. We are awaiting Crash Cassidy's arrival, the American heavyweight champion, for this matchup.
Well, this is a man that you're very familiar with. This is your promotion. You're the booker.
I'm familiar with Jeff Paul and with Crash Cassidy. Very familiar with. I'm also familiar with Crash's new bride.
Yep. Over here ringside, supporting her man.
Fans, I just want to say that we've been joined here at our broadcast location by the new bride of Crash Cassidy, and I'm so proud to know that she has guaranteed us that the firstborn child of this union is going to be named after Joe Brody. There you have it, fans.
Well, I guess that rumor's been swept down the drain.
I'm not done with them yet. I'm not done, you hear me?
I don't know. Joe Cassidy kind of has a ring to it.
Well, I was thinking more Joseph Brody Cassidy.
Well, you know what? That has a hell of a ring.
You can't, man, the sky's the limit for a kid with a name like that. I'm like the Godfather. Don't go against the family, you know?
I don't know. Sean Cruz might have an issue of you claiming that moniker.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been asked that Jeff Paul demand silence while he removes his shirt.
I don't think he's going to get any cooperation from this group of fans right here in Stuart, Virginia.
Well, it looks like the ladies are getting quiet, but their husbands up here in Stuart aren't exactly liking what they're about to see.
Paul likes to play mind games, not just with his opponent, not just with the referee, but with the fans as well. I've seen it work in his favor. I've seen it go against him, Josh.
Well, he's over here winking at Crash Cassidy's new bride.
Challenger, weighing at 225 pounds from Los Angeles, California, representing the JPWO, he is Jeff Paul! Correction, ladies and gentlemen, liberal Los Angeles, California.
Man, that's just not going to win him many fans in this area.
No, it sure is not. You won't even find a Starbucks in Stuart, Virginia, none less a liberal.
Yeah, but you also won't find a McDonald's, a Hardee's, or a dentist office in Stuart, Virginia.
Well, but you've got a veterinarian. He's one of the sponsors here, and if
This is true. This is true. You know, I heard one time that the toothbrush was invented right here in Stuart.
Yeah, because there was only one tooth to be had.
That's right. If it would have been invented anywhere else, it would have been called the toothbrush.
That is true.
I almost caused a riot in Warren, West Virginia saying that one time.
That's a dangerous place to make comments like that.
Here we have it. Referee calls for the bell, and we've got it. Our championship matchup is underway. Crash Cassidy and Jeff Paul, two men, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they know each other very, very well. I watched them have a 15-minute time limit draw in Meadow Bridge, West Virginia in March, and in May they had a match in Fayetteville, West Virginia. It went about 18 minutes, and Crash Cassidy came out on the top of that one. But the thing is, the title wasn't on the line because Crash had been yet to win the belt at that point.
Now, you got to look. This is our main event right here. Crash Cassidy's coming off of a honeymoon a few weeks ago. And you got to think, after that little wink that Paul sent over there to his wife, he's going to want to make an example.
Absolutely. Now, these guys, in size-wise, size-wise, Crash is going to definitely take the advantage, and I'd say the slight edge in power. Speed and quickness is going to go to Jeff Paul. Maybe even Paul might be even slightly taller, but I think it's not going to make any difference in the leverage battle in this matchup.
I don't think at all. Look at this. When you got Crash Cassidy, you have competitors like him and Bam Bam Lance Erickson. You do not want to go toe-to-toe with these guys. They're big, they're mean, and they're strong.
Collar and elbow lockup. Paul taking Crash back to the back, and Crash saying that he's got him by the hair. Referee questioning Jeff Paul about it. Paul denying it, walks away. A little disdain. One thing I knew better than to do in the ring was never turn my back on an opponent.
That's a quick way to get your a knife put right in your back, figuratively speaking, of course. Paul's trying to have a test of strength here with a much larger man.
I tell you what, this is Jeff Paul is a well-conditioned athlete, and he is an athlete. Whether you like him or not, he's a well put together individual and an athlete. But this is a mistake, in my opinion.
Look at him. Oh, taking a cheap shot, going straight for the toes there.
Side headlock applied. Oh, and look at that. Here comes Paul for a second try. And the momentum made no difference there, Josh. Atomic drop. Followed up by an inverted atomic drop.
A sidewalk slam.
He's going for the quick pin here. 2 count, but he did some damage, I think, Josh. He did some damage.
That spine has to be
Look
tingling.
at that. Well scouted. Jeff Paul used his own head, dropped Crash's jaw across the top of his head, stunned the man, and now he's back in control. Now, if I were trying to coach up Crash Cassidy, I would say do not be distracted by Bronco Barnett, and do not let Jeff Paul dictate the pace of this match. As a larger, more powerful individual and as the champion, Crash Cassidy should be dictating the pace of the match.
Well, it's just like you were saying before the event tonight. You were training up some of the young trainees coming into the business, and you were telling them, you said you got to stay on top of your opponent. If you let them have that opening, all your momentum could swing and come right back to you.
That's exactly right. You don't want to be on the wrong end of that pendulum.
No.
Big slam by Crash, going to cover Paul.
He's not the heavyweight champion either, because he didn't just wake up and get that. He earned that.
Well, I tell you what, he beat a top-notch, top-level competitor in Bam Bam Lance Erickson to win that belt. Here it comes. Look at that. Bronco grabbed his foot. Bronco Barnett grabbed his foot.
There you go, back to what you were saying earlier. You didn't believe it, and you were right.
Crash allowed himself to be distracted, though, and now here we go. Jeff Paul's going to take advantage. As Whitworth said earlier, he's within the rules if he breaks by the count of 4.
Well, that looked like a 3.5 right there to me.
Boots to the midsection from Paul.
Bringing him down to his haunches.
Look at that. He's sitting up there like Spider-Man, choking him out with a boot across the throat.
And Paul might look slender, but he is.
Look at this. Bronco's right all over him again. So much for his word being worth anything, huh?
Not worth nothing. His word's as crooked as his hat, like we were talking about yesterday.
The champion at a distinct disadvantage at this point. Dropped that elbow right across the sternum, driving the air out of him. I tell you what, Josh.
The assist on the ropes.
If you've never been in the ring and had that elbow dropped across your solar plexus and had that air driven out of you like that, it's really hard to get that follow-up breath.
I imagine it's exceptionally difficult after you've been competing in a match like these guys has in this heat. Everything is counting against him on catching his breath here tonight.
Big leg drop. That's a move I used to use in my career also. Josh, very effective, especially after he's already been working on the man's wind. If you notice, he's got a theme, he's got a strategy going on here. He was working on cutting off his air. He dropped that leg across his chest, and now he's in the front face lock. He's got the man's face down on the mat. He's obviously going to be hard for him to breathe.
Well, Big Crash Cassidy's working himself back up to a base right here.
Jeff,
if he gets vertical.
Jeff Paul may be counting on the fact that, of his superior conditioning between these two to carry him through, but he's got to reckon with the power of Crash Cassidy, and you just saw it right there. Clothesline took him out of his shoes, but to the knee, went to the knee.
You take the base out of a big man like this, you're almost taking him out of the fight.
I'm going to tell you, you mentioned earlier about how some wrestlers remind you of other wrestlers, and I'm going to tell you the style of wrestling that Crash Cassidy does has always reminded me of one Stan Hansen, the bad man from Borger, Texas.
Now, do you know this is your world heavyweight, your heavyweight champion?
Crash Cassidy is the American heavyweight champion.
Yes. Who are his inspirations? Who does he strive to get his style from?
You know, I'll be honest with you, I have never asked the man. We've never had that conversation, but that's an interesting point. I will make it a point to find out.
Paul is using the ring as his ally here.
Well, you have to, and again, it's within the rules as long as he breaks that on the count of 4 or if he gets back in the ring before the count of 10. So he's using every advantage, and he's also using that manager, speaking of advantage, Bronco Barnett, that low-down, dirty polecat outside the ring.
Crash is trying to fight back. Big right hand to the midsection.
Right back to that knee, stop the momentum. Look at that. Everything Jeff Paul is doing is geared toward taking the win out of Crash Cassidy. So he is definitely concentrating and counting on his superior conditioning to carry him through this match. So that tells me that Jeff Paul anticipates this being a longer match.
Well, you know, he knows that Crash Cassidy weighs more than he does. But I've watched it throughout this entire match. He uses his weight and momentum to try to wear down the bigger man, Crash Cassidy.
I had the opportunity several years ago with Crash. Oh my God, did you hear that impact of that chop?
I think he's feeling that back in liberal California right now.
I tell you what, he definitely is. Crash shoots his man into the corner, follow it up. Big boot to the jaw. Paul had that well scouted.
Yes, he had it well scouted.
I would say that's the influence of Bronco Barnett and his experience with Crash. It could be Jeff's advantage for sure, because if he's been with Bronco Barnett for the last week and he's studying up against Crash, he's got experience with him in the ring already, but there's nobody in this sport that knows Crash Cassidy as an opponent as well as Bronco Barnett.
Paul's going for a cover.
I tell you what, Jeff Paul a little frustrated there. He called it. He said, like a fat girl in dodgeball, he was out, but it didn't come true.
Well, we've talked about it all night tonight. Guys taking too much time to get the cover.
Now here's a dangerous situation. You got Bronco out on the outside of the ring. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Crash got him. He just nailed him.
Crash ain't taking no more of this.
And the crowd comes alive on that. They've been waiting on that. Big right hand shots. Crash Cassidy on Jeff Paul. Shoots his man into the corner, comes in. Look at that big backdrop. Here it is, that football tackle. Oh, Paul up and over, crash into the turnbuckle.
He's looking dazed right now, Joe.
Leg drop.
Continuously using his weight to help him make more powerful moves.
His lateral movement and his speed are working to his advantage against Crash, especially with Crash in the deteriorated condition. Hard to get his wind back. A burst of speed is going to take more out of him than it is out of Jeff.
You're exactly right. And Crash's young bride is looking mighty worried over here at the sidelines.
Well, I have to say, if I was Crash Cassidy's bride, I'd look worried too. Man, look at that springboard splash out of the corner. He got some momentum and got some height on that, Josh.
He keeps using the momentum to his advantage, and you know what? I don't blame him.
And as you mentioned, he's using the ring as his ally.
Here comes that dirty, no-good scoundrel.
Oh, here, look at this. Bronco he's tired of the subterfuge.
Why is the ref allowing this?
He's putting the count on him. Oh, look at that. Bronco just got nailed by Jeff Paul.
Oh, we seen this last night.
There it is. The gunslinger. That's going to be on. There it is. Fans, your winner and still American heavyweight champion, Crash Cassidy.
Still your American Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Crash.
What a great lineup and what a great match. What a great day and night of pro wrestling. This ends up 4 days of American Pro Wrestling and NICW Wrestling this week. And what a pleasure it is for me to have been here with you, Josh.
As always, I love being here with you. Thank you for being my partner out here, and I look forward to the next time we get to do it.
Fans, we'll see you next time on NICW Championship Wrestling.